In the quiet corners of our lives, where intention fades into repetition, an invisible sculptor works patiently. You cannot see its hands, but you see its handiwork in the way you speak, the food you reach for, the thoughts you entertain on sleepless nights. This sculptor is habit, the unseen artist of destiny. We often imagine life as a grand adventure shaped by monumental choices. The city we move to, the job we take, the person we marry. But more often than not, life is written in lowercase letters, in the way you tie your shoes, the route you take to work, the first thing you check on your phone in the morning. These tiny rituals, repeated day after day, stack like bricks to form the cathedral of your existence. And like the cathedral, their construction is slow, quiet, even tedious. But their impact? Immense. Imagine a garden. At first, it's just soil, a patch of potential. Each morning, you step into it and plant something. Small actions like seeds. A 5-minute walk, a glass of water, a journal entry. You may not see results at first, but with each repeated act, roots take hold. Habits are like that. Slow growing, sometimes invisible, yet deeply foundational. Some people plant roses of discipline. Others, weeds of distraction. The beauty or chaos of the garden is not dictated by a single choice, but by repeated ones. A habit is not what you do once, it's what you feed. It's the watering, not the seed. And here's the marvel. Habits don't just shape outcomes, they shape identity. When you exercise daily, you begin to see yourself as an active person. When you write each morning, even clumsily, you start to identify as a writer. This is the secret alchemy of habit. It doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you believe you are. But habits have a shadow side. They are agnostic to morality. They will serve your higher self, or your lowest cravings, without protest. A habit will just as faithfully deliver a cigarette to your lips as it will a prayer to your heart. It will open the fridge when you're bored just as loyally as it will open a book when you're curious. And that's why habit is both tyrant and liberator. A habit picked carelessly becomes a shackle, but a habit chosen wisely becomes a key. Consider the story of Alex, a fictional, but all too real, example. Each morning, he snoozes his alarm 3 times. He skips breakfast and rushes into his day already behind. He scrolls social media on his commute, arrives at work groggy, and drinks coffee to compensate. The day becomes reactive, scattered. Not because Alex is lazy or unmotivated, but because his habits are. Now imagine a different version of Alex. He gets up with the first alarm, drinks a glass of water, stretches for 5 minutes. He journals briefly, writes his top 3 priorities, and listens to a podcast on the way to work. The difference between these 2 Alexes isn't genetics or willpower. It's habit. A few keystone routines that shift the gravitational pull of the entire day. We are often told to wait for inspiration, to act when we feel motivated. But motivation is a fickle friend. It flares up in the heat of a New Year's resolution or a TED Talk, then disappears when the alarm rings at 6 a.m. in February darkness. Habits don't wait for motivation. They bypass it entirely. James Clear, in Atomic Habits, says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." And what are systems if not clusters of habits working in harmony? The writer writes not because they feel inspired every morning, but because the habit makes the act inevitable. The runner doesn't ask, "Do I feel like running?" The shoes go on. The road calls. That is the power of habit. It turns discipline into autopilot. The beauty and curse of habit is that it's not built in a day. It's built daily. This truth is both sobering and empowering. Want to break a bad habit? Don't try to demolish it like a wall. Remove one brick a day. Replace it with a new brick. Small, sustainable, barely noticeable. Swap one soda with a glass of water. Replace 10 minutes of scrolling with 10 pages of reading. Don't try to change your whole life in one dramatic burst. Change your next decision, then repeat. Because that's the real secret. Consistency beats intensity. We celebrate the dramatic transformation, the 100-pound weight loss, the best-selling book, the overnight success. But the spotlight misses the shadows, where the real work happened. Every ignored craving, every deleted paragraph rewritten with care, every early morning when no one was watching. In the end, you are not what you say you will do. You are not even what you dream of doing. You are what you consistently do. And that's the most empowering message of all. Because while you cannot always choose your circumstances, you can choose your habits. And in doing so, you choose the direction of your life. So take a look at the invisible sculptor working in your life. Is it carving a masterpiece, or is it whittling away at your potential? You don't need to change everything today. Just one habit, just one brushstroke in the right direction. And then another tomorrow, and the next. Until the quiet sculptor shapes a life that is not only lived, but well lived.